My name's Joe. I'm 58 years old and have been retired for 4 years now. I produce this YouTube channel. I interact with a lot of people. What scams, traps, bad practices have I witnessed or talked to people about in this, in my 4 years of retirement, maybe going a little bit before that, but just have some things to talk about that are traps for you to please avoid and maybe educate you just a little bit here. So, hey, an overriding theme. If investments sound too good to be true, they probably are. Okay. So remember that. So let's jump into this. And I have four of them that have reoccurred in my dealings with people. So, number one bad practice, handing over $2 million or whatever amount to a financial advisor without understanding the investments, the risk, and the fees. Very common. People are intimidated by investments, so they just say, you handle this for me. Tell me how much money I can spend. Don't do that. Extremely high expense ratio funds can be selected, where you're paying 1.5%, 2% just to buy a fund. Transaction fees, capital gains, short-term capital gains from the fund buying and selling a lot. Risk of investments, you may say, hey, I believe in tech. You may be retired, you may be 65 years old, and you're saying, hey, I really believe in tech. I want to put 80% of my investments in tech. Tech is generally up, but it can have some wild swings and drama that you may not be able to handle as a retired person. If you happen to be working right now and you're an aggressive investor, just wait. The day you're retired, you're going to get more conservative. I promise. Okay? It's easy to be cocky and confident when you're working and you have that as a backstop, to performance. You can always work another year, but once you're retired, things change. If you won the game, stop playing. If you got enough money, stop playing the risk. The higher returns, this is a pretty good rule. Higher returns come with higher risks. So if you've won the game and you got enough money to retire, dial that back a little bit. Don't chase 15% returns at all risk. Having a financial advisor does not free you from learning and understanding. You need to understand where your money's going, and they are obligated to tell you, okay? I highly recommend getting a comprehensive software package. New Retirement is the one I like because it really does a great job with taxes. That's probably its distinguishing characteristic. It'll change, link below, hit more, and then check that out for a free 2 weeks. It changes the conversation. If you use a financial advisor and you do your own homework with something like New Retirement, you will have a greater depth of conversation, greater understanding of what your financial advisor is proposing. But you can't just hand money off to a financial advisor. I've talked to dozens of people that have done that and kind of helped them understand what they were doing. And I explain things better than their financial advisor, which is freaking scary. Okay, bad practice number two, assets under management. The fee is negotiable. If you just walk in there and say, how much do you charge? And you give them $500,000, they'll tell you 1%. But if you start to walk out the door and say, hey, that's too high, I'm going to look at my options, they're going to say, well, hey, wait, how about 0.75? How about, hey, I'll think about it. And just like you're negotiating for a car, just that'll keep on going down. The higher the assets you have, the typically lower you can get this. I was offered 0.53 was my lowest. I had another one was 0.58. And several of them were 1%, and some even higher than 1%. So, and I didn't see that big of a difference. I interviewed 7 people, 7 financial advisors, and I'll be honest, I didn't see that big of a difference between any of them. I know a guy paying 1.75%. And it wasn't anything fancy that they were investing in. This financial advisor only took high net worth people, only took select people. So you were honored to be able to pay 1.75. Lucky to have them. Um, Mistake, or let's see, bad practice concern number 3, crypto. Good gosh, I can't tell you how many comments I've gotten over the last couple years on these financial videos. Um, 500 comments on why I'm not, you should be into crypto. It's highly speculative, folks. There's no intrinsic value. They're not making a product. it's the price is based on what the next person is willing to pay for the product. High tech is good, right? Anything high tech, if it's high tech, if it's new, if it's innovative, it's worth more, right? And you suffer from fear of missing out. Joe, you're just a boomer. You don't understand how things work. Well, how's that working out now? If you don't understand it, don't invest in it. Be happy with this decision. If somebody tells you they made 25% on some, artificial intelligence stock they bought, be happy for them. Don't have a fear of missing out. You've won the game. Now you're into preserving the win. So don't feel like when you're 55, 60 years old, you need to invest in something like crypto. And that applies far beyond just crypto. I'm just saying anything high tech, new age, fear of missing out. That's how bubbles are made. Back in the 2000 time period, is any business that had internet products or .com in their name, they were worth more. Be very careful. Number 4, bad practice concerns, and this, I'm going to give an example of this, but this can be wide-ranging. Alternative investments. If you don't understand it, don't invest in it. I know I've spoke with a client that was buying commercial paper. Commercial paper is very short-term loans that businesses take. Think like 30-day loan, 60-day loan, 90-day loan, 120-day loan. They need money for some reason. They go out without collateral, secure it, and bring it in. So typically, you may get, 5, 6%. 6% could be a high number that you get a return for buying this, or that it cost you for this commercial paper. This guy I was talking to was getting 13%, and it was pretty fixed. Yes, there was a potential to lose up to 50% of the value, but the last several years was just getting 13%. That could be legitimate, but like I said earlier, higher risk yields higher returns. So if typical commercial paper that people are buying is 4.5%, 5%, and you're getting 13%, who is getting that money? There's enormous risk with that company to default, so they have to pay loan shark prices, right? If you've already won the game, stop playing. This seems very attractive, could be legit. Does it justify the high asset under management? So you have access to this commercial paper, so you're paying higher assets under management to get this extremely high amount. This could be legitimate. It's easy to send a report to you every quarter saying, "Hey, you made 13%. You made 13%. You made 13%. Great, you're doing fantastic." But that's just a piece of paper. Sounds like Bernie Madoff. This is what you see. Read about this in the paper. My answer to that and to this individual was to try to buy that same product from somebody else. Go to another financial advisor and just say, "Hey, do you sell commercial paper? What kind of rates can I get? What are my options? What's a high risk rate?" And just see what you can get. But 13%, and this is going back a few years. It's not just this year. This is going back a few years. So what's going on there? Comes all back to understand what you're investing in. And if it sounds too good to be true, pass on it. You've already won the game, right? So, hey, folks, you're approaching retirement. Stop playing. You've won the game. Stop playing. Stop going down this fear of missing out. Got to get in on this crypto. Got to get in on these alternative investments. I got to get a unique advantage by paying an advisor to find some really crazy stuff for me to get great returns. Just get average returns. Have a plan for the down market. move on. Okay? So that's a little bit of my experience. If you've got another horror story, another risk, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. If you got a friend, not necessarily happened to you, but a scam that you may have fallen for or know somebody that's fallen for, let me know in the comments. Get the community informed about this so they can make good decisions. If nothing else, let me know where you're from in the comments. This is Joe out.